Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Patrick Flynn and this is my beautiful bride, Christy Flynn. You are in the Flynn household and today we're going to go over something extremely important that people sometimes don't realize is you can do all your food perfect and prepare it in something very toxic. So what we're gonna do kind of today is we're gonna kind of go over, I want to say our favorite, but I don't really cook. So my wife doesn't let me cook much because her being such a great chef, her actually spicing everything up is so important. So she won't even let me cook anything simple because she said it tastes too plain. So it's gonna be kind of funny. But I do want to go over the major importance of, regardless of what ingredients you do use, that the cookware is just that important. It really is. Because once again, if you actually use a cookware that can leak and actually bring in toxins to your food, you can eat perfectly. You can have the best spices. You can go to every one of our cabinets, from our spices to our foods, and see the massive, incredible ingredients. But putting it in a toxic cookware, because they actually even heat it, which actually can draw more toxins into the food itself compared to it was just cold. It's important to go over this. So Christy, where are we starting? So we'll do this. Why don't you start with kind of your favorite that way, and we'll kind of go and I'll give some opinions on each of them as we go through. Maybe we'll start with what we like the most.
Okay. Well, what do we like the most? They're ceramic. This is from Extrema. It's an excellent company.
Yes. Now, before you go on, this video is going to be individually on our Facebook and YouTube, but there'll be an article that will be attached, and this video will be in there. We will list specific brands that we love, and once again, you can go to the company and just research them and look them up. We're just going to give you, we're fast forwarding this for you, so if you do want to buy cookware, you can just go to their website and buy it. So once again, she gives you a name. We'll also list in our article that way. So because you know those people personally.
Yes, too. I actually do. I know them, and these. So we've got a smaller one, a bigger one. They have a bunch of different kinds of pans. This one has a lid. They are excellent. They have that where it's not coated with anything,
yes.
So it doesn't stick. It takes a little bit getting used to how to use them, but once you figure it out, you heat up the pan first and whatever.
Well, that's a very big key.
Yeah.
You want to heat some of your pans first before even dropping the decent oils into them. It's because I know a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll cook and they'll just throw oil into it and put the stuff in and then turn the pan on. Actually, that's not the correct way to do it.
You gotta let it lubricate.
Yes.
It's gotta have a layer of a buffer between a fat layer.
Yes,
to
and fat's always better when they're heated. So so these two. So if you take step number one, the ceramic ones probably, for example, are probably the best ones to start with that way. Now, once again, there are ceramic brands you got to be careful with because they will coat them. For example, we're going to get this in a second, but we actually love glass also. But we want to grab an example.
So this on the outside looks like a glass pan, right? Until you look on the inside, and there is Teflon.
Right.
Teflon is a no-no. You don't want Teflon. You have to make sure that you're reading all the labels. What is it made of? Is there aluminum? Is it an aluminum pan? You don't want to use an aluminum pan because you don't want aluminum coming into like your cookie sheets. You don't want that getting into your food. You don't want that getting into your baked goods. Likewise, Teflon. Very, very, very
toxic.
harmful, very toxic. So you want to stay away from something like this. Now, if it was a glass pan that didn't have that,
glass way through, it'd be great.
That's fine.
And which comes to another point is, like she said, aluminum is something we don't want to have in this. That's why we actually are against antiperspirants and things like that can actually be very inflammatory to us that way. But it leads into another thing. There is one thing that we do like to actually use that actually does leak something into your food, and that's cast iron. Do you understand?
Yes.
And then now remember, this is my wife's pan, but I gotta bring this one right here. I got this one. This one came from my mother. This one is actually older than I am. She has had this thing, I think she said it's close to 60 years old. Now think about this, and she uses this still every day. She just properly seasons cast iron because that's where cast iron needs to be seasoning. So explain to them what seasoning is.
Seasoning is when you heat up the pan, you put some oil in it, and then you let it cool.
Yep.
And you wipe out the oil, but you leave a layer there.
Yes.
You leave a layer. and it stays seasoned, and that way, then when you go to use it again, you never want to use soap and water and scrub it or anything. You don't want to do that. You want to keep. So because of that, you're getting iron in all your food.
Yes.
Because there's just.
Brianna, one of our longtime people in our company that way, she's pregnant, and she says, I love using my cast iron mostly when I'm pregnant because I actually don't have to, if I forget my iron supplement, it doesn't matter because I'm already getting it from my foods that way. And it's kind of true.
Very true.
You do. It's why cast iron does wonderful with it that way. So it's a great thing. Now, a lot of people have a hard time using cast iron because ceramic, obviously you're going to put some oil in the bottom. Now, once again, we don't have all of our oil sitting out here, but once again, I love to cook with avocado oil. My wife's gonna grab it. Avocado oil is a very good oil to actually put on the bottom when cooking. Or once again, we also love our coconut oil. Once again, these are two great companies. We love Tropical Traditions. You can go on their website and actually sign up. They send newsletters out all the time for major discounts on it that way. We've used that for how long?
Long time.
Before most people even knew the company.
Oh gosh, yes. We've been buying tubs
forever.
Yeah.
You see, and then actually, the more kids we had, the bigger the tub got. We used to start with the little one when we were just married, and all of a sudden, bigger, so we had more kids. So, but once again, in cast iron, you may have to use a little bit more oil. You really do, okay? See, that's why if you think Teflon became so popular is because of the non-stick. Okay, but you can actually use your cast iron. You'll find out that you'll use more oil in a cast iron based pan than you will a ceramic pan that way. Okay.
I think people are just afraid of using too much oil.
But because of the fat thing.
Yeah.
You see, because people for a long time people were because of oils, because of hydrogen oils. Now, don't use corn and soy oil and canola oil, which is extremely toxic that way. That's why, once again, you may be allergic to coconut oils, so don't use coconut. You may be allergic to avocados, don't use avocados. But if you're not allergic to them, two of the major cooking oils that can be used there. So not use cookware, but cook oils with it that way. Now, as you're showing, I think our third venue, and we got this as newlyweds.
This was our first present. We invested in our health way back then.
What did it cost us? $2,000 or something like that?
It was like close to $3,000.
$3,000.
It was.
And we were at a wedding show, weren't we? We weren't even married yet. Yeah. That's a good point.
We were at the wedding show, but then
yes.
I think it was once we got married.
Once we got married, we actually.
You got the cool little coupon thing to go and you sit
and the funny part
was,
remember we started practice and I was dead broke. Okay, but this is not a joke. We were in the wedding show. And not in there, we were actually there looking for our wedding stuff that way. We saw the cookware place that way. We went to their seminar, and then we had to purchase it after we got married. And trust me, when I first started practice, we were dead broke.
It was on my credit card.
Yeah, we put it, but we knew it was that important. So as a young family, and that may be something that comes up, as a young family, what do you choose to do? Well, we chose because health was very important to us, and we didn't even have the money. We didn't. We put it on a credit card, and we still use it today.
It's so fantastic.
Yes.
As far as, look at it. It still looks.
It's stainless steel.
It's stainless steel.
See, so it's not even really the brand.
It's a high grade
exactly.
stainless steel.
That's the big thing.
There's stainless steels that, like, after you use them a little bit, they're all scratched up. This is a high grade stainless steel, and it's easy to clean.
Yes.
It's not hard at all. I love using these pans as well. They're another one of our, just because we've had this one longest.
Yes.
This is second longest, that
yep.
kind of thing. But
yeah, but that's kind of funny. I forgot about that. We got that when we first got married, and then. But see, the cool thing is this: find a decent. Now remember, we'll put our favorite brands on there that way because once again, then you can. We actually done the work for you, so you can actually go to the article and we'll list in there. Now, one thing that I think is overlooked, obviously, for example, is glass. Saying glass cookware is absolutely phenomenal. Pyrex is amazing. Pyrex even has things like this that are glass all the way through. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a bad one. This is not Pyrex. But they said there's other companies out there. Corningware, I think also too, is actually, a glass. Is this Corningware itself?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's ceramic.
Yeah, ceramic. So I said, fantastic aspect of it that way. So I said glass cookware is absolutely incredible. Now what you got there, Christy?
Cookie sheets. I mentioned it before. There's so many of the aluminum with Teflon or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's just a quick little cookie sheet. It is horrible.
It's toxic.
You can't use those. So I have a couple really thin stainless steel ones that I happen to snag at TJ Maxx. So good luck on finding those. But I have found a great company. It's called Heirloom Cookie Sheets.
And we'll put it in the article.
It's Like
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
But it's gonna last
thin.
forever. It's easy to get stuff
Yes.
off. It doesn't stick.
And it's stainless steel. You can't bend it like
No,
aluminum
not
one.
at
This is
all.
a very sturdy, very heavy
They're great.
stainless
I love
steel.
them.
So once again, now I think there's one cookware that's overlooked because it takes a little preparation. And the one thing is this: who doesn't love pizza? I mean, our kids always want, because we make our own homemade pizzas. We get the millet millet pie crust. We have our own organic tomato sauce, and so what happens is, but here's a stoneware, pizza crust. Did I say pie crust?
Yeah.
Pizza crust. Yeah, pizza crust. Okay, but no, stoneware. So you got to prep it though.
You gotta put it in the oven and heat it up first, and then
Yep.
you put the stuff on it.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more, we just don't have the instant pizzas. Of course, those are bad for you. But it is, so Stone Cookware does a wonderful job of actually doing stuff. So this is how we make muffins.
Muffins, and they do not stick. You just, whatever oil you need, just oil them up and they come right out. There is no sticking, and it's super easy. You don't use any soap to clean it. You just wash them out. This particular, some of these that I have are from Pampered Chef, but I'm sure they make it, as long as it's a stone cookware, that it's literally stone, it's excellent.
And what you got there? What'd you use that for?
This can be anything from sweet potato fries to cookies to whatever. I have a couple of these different sizes, but it's, again, stoneware.
Now show them one of the things else too. Let's say you want to make a whole chicken and stuff like that. What?
Yes.
Do you want to go over?
Another stoneware. It is, so instead of using a aluminum big, one of those big aluminum pans, think about it. You've got aluminum, and you're encasing it, and all the steam and everything, and it's leaching into your food. So a stone one, this is just the perfect size to either put a little roast or a little chicken. If you get a big one, then, again, we have that problem too. Sometimes you got to go to something bigger, but this is perfect, and it's stone, and it's not leaching anything bad into your food.
Now this one, as you know, our girls we have the best recipe. Check the website out that way, but we have the best chocolate chip banana bread, correct?
Yeah.
And of course, as you can see, as they mostly eaten and stuff. I had one piece last night, was nice and warm. But the idea is this: is once again, there's your stoneware, and it makes wonderful. And I can actually even push this and stuff, and you look, it doesn't stick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not sticking that way. So there we go. Okay. But yeah, great. Stoneware, once again, this is part of our life. So you can make from breads, everything that way. So
the last one, which I don't necessarily use, but
it's an
an option.
Because sometimes you can't afford, some of the things that sometimes get expensive. So you may just want to pick up one pan. You know what I'm saying? No, you can pick up one ceramic or one glass, but something simple as copper. I'm chewing my food.
So it's one of those. It's because copper. It's non-stick. It doesn't have any coating on it. Yeah. So this is, it's lightweight. And definitely a great option for like sauteing vegetables, doing eggs. So picking up a pan like this, what a great first step. If you're making that.
And some of the coppers, just like the glasses, you gotta be careful because they'll line them with aluminum and stuff like that. So you gotta be careful.
You have to read the labels.
Now once again. Okay, we'll pick some of the brands that we know that are very good for you that way and put them in the article that way that Dawn and I are going to write and stuff like that. But so we basically recap. Now once again, that really wasn't our copper pan because we don't use copper. The reason we don't use copper, it's not that copper is bad in any way, but there's so many other options of everything that she uses constantly that way from. So I say honestly, if I look at that, some of the things, ceramic, cast iron, stainless steel, glass, stone. Last resort would be copper that way for us that way. All of them can be used with great oils and stuff to prep their process. Making pizza with the stone, things like that. Muffins in the stoneware that way. So we have a conglomeration of all those. But here's the key to it all. Every one that we do does not leak any toxic, fumes, any toxic ingredients within the foods itself, because you can have the greatest. If that was a great organic, which is organic banana bread that way, and then that was made in an aluminum pan that way.
You just heavy metals into
it. You just took some toxic things in there. So, so I said, I think that's a good way to start that way. And I think, once again, I think some of the companies, you can actually just buy one pan too,
Another thing, since we're on this topic with baking, when you're using some of these pans, I still even use parchment paper.
Yes.
To help with if there's a sticking issue, but it just makes it easy to pull things out. Never, ever, ever use foil.
No.
Ever.
Remember, in parchment paper, people say, well, Doc, isn't parchment paper toxic? No, they have some very non-toxic parchment paper.
They have some good ones.
Because Christy will actually take one of the cookie sheets, put parchment paper on there, and take some good organic bacon and put it in the oven. And you say it, and we bake our bacon.
We bake our bacon.
It's the best way to do it.
But it's great. It comes out perfect every time.
Crisp.
You know that crisp, but it's not burnt. It's perfect.
It's fantastic. So, yeah, so anything else you want to recap there, darling? Anything else in there?
No, I think we covered it.
Yeah, so once again, this is what that we teach. This is what we live. This is a part you are in the Flynn household in the kitchen that way. But then remember, if you went to Dr. Jason's household or Dr. Greg's or any of the Wellsway guys, this is the way we live this way. That's why we want to show people non-toxic living that it can be done. And once again, start somewhere. Start with the simplest thing. Might be one pan. Might be that you guys do a lot of frying. You may want to get one ceramic pan that way to actually start that process that way. You might want to you might like to bake a little bit more. You want to get one stone pan that way and stuff. So all these things, for example, add up to that journey, like I said, because let's say with the example of not an accident, and you're 40 years old, you're probably going to live for at least another 30 years. So I want to live a healthier venue. So if you start little by little over the next 5 to 10 years, guess what happens? You've dramatically changed the things that actually contribute to your long life. You know that. So that's why these things are here. We just want to show you what we do personally, but also to also give you the basis of why it's done that way. So once again, thank you for always coming into our home, sharing the information of what we do every day with, aka, what she does every day with it that way. Because once again, I try to cook. I mean, I try. I'm good at doing bacon. I'm good at doing bacon. It's just like grab the cookie sheet, grab the parchment paper, throw it on there. It's just if there's flavor and seasoning and stuff like that. I'm totally clueless. I'm not the chef of the family, but actually now we're making little chefs that way and stuff because my daughters cook amazingly and they have learned from their mother how to spice and season everything. And that's a show by itself. Spices, I mean, take a look at my wife's spice rack. I mean, it's just massive. And it's actually, as you can see there, Fancy Nancy, I mean, it's just loaded with stuff all over that way, good organic spices that way. And what it does, it just gives the flavor to everything that way. So you want to have the non-toxic things, you want to have the non-toxic food, then you can do there, but start somewhere. And I believe this is a great place for you guys to start. So this is Dr. Patrick Flynn in the Flynn family household with my beautiful bride, Christy Flynn, coming to you as always. Check out the article. We'll give our favorite links once again of what to be used. We appreciate you guys always watching. Please do us a favor and like and share so some family out there can start their journey somewhere so they now can live a better, healthier life. Have a beautiful day.